Hello YouTube, Robin Hood Bricks here, and today I'm going to continue where we left off last time, developing the centre of the Lego room with new tables and buildings in position, continuing our train tracks, which will give us progress towards our central station. Because, well, I got a lot of encouragement last time, both from you and from the progress made. Sometimes it's a bit of a daunting task doing a city of this size. So, yeah, all progress is welcome. So I think the first thing I need to do is give myself a little bit more real estate. So I think I'm going to get another one of these big 150 by 75 tables and put it next door. And then probably an extension of this one as well, being careful to leave myself a bit of walkway to get around. And that means that I should be able to bring everything this way, get some of the old modulars in position, maybe start off those station platforms and, well, who knows? We'll see where we get to. But yeah, more progress in the centre. Yes, please. Oh, I'm all hot, but we have another table in. Another one of the big ones, like I said. I haven't bothered with another little one on the side. I've just put on a third leg temporarily. So we've got two that will stay on that side, and that will entirely be supported by a table in due course. But yeah, with that third one, just to keep it upright while I'm working on it. And it shows how long the new station's going to be, because I've put in place 3 of these 48 by 48 base plates, as you can see in the middle, to take the sort of platform area and all the concrete sort of coloured tiles that will represent the main station. But it's actually going to be even longer than that, because there's going to be a 4th, which will go obviously at the end here. And then it will be flanked on either side by a row of modulars. So we'll kind of have their backs facing into the station like I had before. And then we'll have a platform on this side, which we've only got 4 studs for. So essentially it's going to be 4 studs of the edge of this base plate and then 4 studs of the back of the modulars. So I'm going to have to maybe move some of those just a little bit forward or back just to make sure that looks okay. Same deal on this side as well. And that means we'll have a run of, well, the station on this side and about 1, 2, 3 modulars. And on that side, well, the end of the old town, roughly where the museum is at the moment, a bit of a gap, and then probably 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5, I think. So yeah, it'll be completely encapsulated and hard to reach. So before I put any modulars in position, I'm going to put in all of the ballast and that concrete coloured sort of replacement for the brown tiles that I've been using out and about in the countryside. And yeah, this is all the parts that I got on my last haul washed. An absolute ton of little 1x1 dots, 1x6s, 2x6s, and 2x4s, and a few sleepers as well. Incidentally, these are the kind of laundry bags I use to wash parts en masse, so I don't get lost in the sink or anything like that, especially when they're small. Yeah, it's just a permeable bag that kind of zips up. Very cheap and easy way of doing things. So I'll tip those into their bags for use and get going. Yeah, and we'll just have a bit of a rough edge along here, but with then the defined area for everything else to go in on either side, hopefully. So yeah, I'll press on. Good. Well, as you might imagine, I have to sort of do a bit from one side and then pop around the other standing hole and do the other side. But it's starting to come together and look rather good, actually. The bits that are done, if you can kind of distinguish them from the bits that aren't. The lovely brown and light grey and dark grey coming to an end here. And I've just started playing around with a different way to do the bit that's going through the station. I could make it completely smooth, but I figure that's really boring. So if I do continue the sort of sleeper and dip kind of bit in between them kind of pattern, but all in the same colour, maybe it'll look really interesting. I mean, to be fair, there'll be a train on the top of these most of the time, so it really won't matter too much, but you will see it now and then, so we may as well make that effort. And it just occurs to me, having just done a trial segment here, that I was planning to do a walkway so we could have pedestrians going from this side over this first section all the way to what will be the old town up to about the back of the museum there. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to pull those up again, actually. And yeah, I might find that a bit hard in the divots. I've just sort of thought, oh, well, that's not good at all, is it? So yeah, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But I kind of like the corrugatedness, so it'll probably start from about here instead, because it'll only be a section 8 wide for that walkway that will be sort of up along, over, down, up, along, over, and then we'll have some sort of gate in the city wall, because I think the city wall will continue all along this sort of side of the rails to encapsulate the old town, and there'll be a big gap here obviously for all of those tracks. But I like the contrast between the green base plates with all the brown and the grey base plates with all the grey. And then obviously we're going to have the 3 platforms anyway, covering most of those segments like that. So you won't be able to see much of that in the future. But what you will see, just the odd stud here and there will be grey. And I can put tiny little bits of green on there, I suppose, for little bits of weed that are growing through the stones. But cool. It's going to be incredibly long once it's done, actually. Imagine that with another base plate on there, and only then a crossing and then the turns to bring it into the rest of the track here. So it's going to be an absolutely huge big straight bit, which is why I kind of like that picture of the arcade right at the end there. That's still missing a few pieces. I'm probably going to have to kind of climb onto tables to reach now, but it shouldn't be too hard. So some more progress, plenty more to get going on. All right, well that looks pretty, doesn't it? It uses a catastrophic number of pieces. In my haul, I bought all of this sort of dark bluish grey ones to go underneath the track, but the amount of different tiles this uses on top, I'm running out of practically everything again, and there's nothing more boring than ordering loads and loads of grey tiles, but I think it's going to be a necessity. Anyway, there is the crossing, and it was agony pulling up all the tiles that are pushed into those little gaps, because I had to pull up the track and all of the ballast underneath it pretty much just to be able to remove them with a brick separator, only to replace them with that. So I'm really hoping I haven't made any more mistakes, or I don't need to change what I'm doing now, because that will be an absolute nightmare. So we've got kind of a half sleeper end here, like we do on our level crossings. And this walkway, it's a bit unsafe really, isn't it? I mean, we've got a barrier where there aren't any trains, but no barriers where there are. Well, that makes sense, because otherwise a train would hit it, I suppose. But it doesn't look particularly pedestrian friendly. In fact, you know what? It doesn't really matter actually, because only 2 of these trains are ever going to be going at once, with the other two kind of in station. And they're so long, they're going to go right up to the end of each straight. So no pedestrian is ever going to be able to cross this set of tracks to get from one side of the city into the old town on the other. So it's, I suppose it's a nice detail to have, to give the impression that they could. But with those trains permanently in position one way or another, it's going to be impossible to get across. So maybe it will be safe after all. Anyway, that looks pretty nice. Good contrast between the green, really nice sort of guillotine before we get to the grey and the black of the 3 platforms that we're going to have in the middle. Good. Yes, that looks really nice. Very happy with that. So, I'm running out of everything. I may stop sort of doing this at this stage and get on with starting the platforms, actually. I realise as well I'm going to have nowhere near enough black brick to do that either. So, as soon as I realise I've got enough of one thing, I run out of about 3 more. But, the monorail that is currently up to about there will be sort of turning in about here and coming in to meet up with the station, I think about here, but obviously up in the air, before turning around again and meeting up with the station on the back of the mall, which will be here. So a bit of a turn there. Hopefully that all dovetails right, and I've measured it all right. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty tricky. But I'm going to be adding obviously all of the supports for that in due course as well. So there's a lot to think about and plan at once, and it's a bit complicated. So I imagine, like always, I'll be doing things twice or maybe thrice. Fingers crossed, it's not too difficult. Fresh from the old Lego room is the middle platform of the old station. So you can see how long that used to be. And now we've got the requirement for a much longer platform, which enables us to have loads more scenes and so on. But if that goes in there, you see that it's only, not even filling up 2 of these, what will be 4 base plates all the way down to about here. So we're going to need a load more black brick for all of that bit along the bottom. It's kind of 6 wide at the base for 3 bricks tall, and then it just goes to 8 wide at the plate layer with some dark bluish grey plate and some nice tiles and all the rest of it. God, I'm going to need more tiles there and more of the kind of grill pieces as well. I'm going to have to do another order, you know. Yeah, so I'll be able to spread out all of this sort of platform furniture amongst all of this, and I'll probably be moving the stairway a bit forward to accommodate that monorail track, as I mentioned earlier. But you get the idea of what I'll be doing next. And this one will have the 3D subway entrance on the very end of it. So it kind of fills up the entire thing and you can't get past it. So I have to be on the end, and that'll be, well, way up here, won't it? Before I do the central one, I want to sort of focus more on the outside ones, because if this is going to be kind of here, for instance, hold on, let me get it right, there, then essentially it's going to overhang by this 4 studs into the back of whatever's next, which will be those modulars. So there's a few modulars that probably can take that already without having to modify them. And there's a few that might need moving forward a little bit to accommodate it as well. And remember, it will be going onto a street section as well, which has got an extra 6 studs. So I think there'll be plenty of pavement out front, even if we do need to move it forward. And then there's the odd big modular, like my museum, where last time I had running out of space near the edge of the wall, and essentially I rebased it onto 3/4 of a base plate, which is basically made up of 8x16s and 16x32s. So yeah, now is the time to move it back onto 32x32 and a 16x32, which will make it a bit more strong, enable us to put some of the pavement back on the front, but probably mostly on the back, because look, there's only 1 stud there and that's taken up by some doors. So yeah, I need to put at least 4 more on the back, and probably more to give room for the doors to open. So 5, 6, 7. So maybe I'll be putting the entire 8 on the back and using the base plates for the road to have a very narrow pavement. But anyway, that's what I'm going to have to work out next. And I was thinking, since this is 1.5 base plates long, which is a bit sort of unwieldy in a way compared with the normal ones, I'd use the bookstore, which is kind of half of one, to make up a full sort of 2 base plate kind of unit. So I think what I might do, because these are becoming few and far between. Every time I get a new one, I end up using it immediately. Whereas I've got quite a few of these bigger ones. I think I might sort of kind of join them together formally on the shared base plates once I've worked out how they're going to line up compared to each other and compared to that platform. And then they'll, together be one. Ah, lovely. So I think that and the bookstore are going to be on this side. So essentially we've got mall up to the edge of the green. Then we've got about 3, 4 base plates or something, probably up to about there for the station. And then we'll probably have bookstore and museum, or museum and bookstore. I'll have to line them up and see how they look. In fact, the next one that's probably going to go after that, I think, is going to be the not detective office, the police station with the SSP headquarters in it. Yeah, for the super secret police. So what I'll probably do is get those 3 modulars out, line them up, and see which is the best sort of combination for those 3, and then I'll know, well, how I need to base them, and what order I'm going to base them in. Phew. So yeah, lots to do. This is sequence number 1, police station, bookstore, and then museum. I'm already thinking this isn't the best way around. I think the museum needs to go in the middle because it's kind of the longest. It needs 2 bookends, no pun intended. And this one's got sort of small, big. And I don't like that. So yeah, let's try it the other way around and see if it looks a bit better. Absolutely love that flying car on the top of the police station. Looks absolutely amazing. And these bent aerials just add to the comedy. Fantastic. Oh yeah, that's better, isn't it? Order number 2. We've got the great big long thing in the middle, and then we've got some sort of more small diverse interests sort of on each end of the big monstrosity. Yes, I like that. And you can even sort of stagger them a bit. So we've got a little step in here. We've got some plain blank wall here, but I've got loads of adverts and things that I've been collecting over the weeks and months. So I should be able to pick out something or some things that are appropriate for that. And then, Yeah, that would dovetail well with that soaps and suds one over here as well. So we've got sort of adverts on there, adverts on there, adverts on the front, on the pennants of the museum, and even adverts on this end, which is why I wanted this one definitely on the left, because I've already got the tuning workshop and the Bob Fizz and the beach party ad all on this end, and the flowers look really good as well. And I really like the purple colouring of this one, sort of lavender or medium lavender or whatever that is. The big police billboard. I will be adding something onto the back of the museum as well. You can see I've put on some little plates, modified plates with a little ball, toe ball sort of thing on, and I've deliberately picked modulars that have got interesting backs in a way to be lining my station. I mean, obviously that museum one as it stands is a bit bland, but yeah, we'll be making that a lot more colourful before we're finished. We can even put some billboards on for all of the travellers who are waiting on the station, twiddling their thumbs and wondering what to do. So they'll be advertised that mercilessly. And then I'm hoping I won't have to move my little portal into another dimension, or another time, in fact, because that has got all the dinosaurs in it, and usually had one kind of popping out. But there should be room for that because we're only losing 4 of these studs on the back. The doghouse will probably have to move, but that's no great loss. We can put that anywhere we want. So yeah, I think that's pretty interesting. If you imagine some of that olive great big wall is filled with more interesting stuff, and yeah, the front as well. So I think what I'm going to do with the museum is have 2 studs more on the front, and then the extra 6 studs on the back, and that'll mean they'll look like this. And yeah, I think that'll be rather fantastic. While I take a break from moving modulars from one base to another, no one's favourite job, I thought it would be worth mentioning that I am on a brand new microphone and have been for the last 7.5 minutes of footage. So hopefully you've noticed a difference, or well, maybe hopefully you haven't noticed a difference and it's kind of like the original one, because the more recent one that I've been using has been body worn, and I think it's had quite a few variations in tone, especially when I'm moving around or holding a camera in front of me, echoes and so on. So I wanted to know whether this one was an improvement. It might sound a little tinny at first. It definitely did to me. I'm thinking I might pass it through a filter on the edit, or maybe I will just get used to it, as you will, I'm sure, with time. But it's because this new camera, which gives these fantastic shots like this, doesn't go crazy when I look at a wall or stick my hand in a shot or something like that, isn't compatible with the old one. I've tried it. It sounds awful. So I'll continue to use the old one for brick calls. But if you could let me know in the comments if this is a further improvement, then that would be appreciated. Be kind, I am technologically challenged. Cool, right, so back to the progress. Yeah, this is on 2 big green base plates, as I said. I ended up putting just 1 stud on the front and 7 on the back, which did cause a problem when I was transferring it over. It mainly lifts off in one section, but when I started transferring over all the tiles for the ground floor, I realised I hadn't taken account of that extra stud, so I had to do it, start again. I freed up loads of dark bluish grey ones in smaller sizes that I'll be able to use all over the place. They won't go to waste at all. So yeah, that's looking rather fantastic. And if I spin it around, I can show you I've just added 2 adverts. First of all, that banner I was showing you, when dinosaurs ruled the earth, with just some lights there to kind of disguise the pins that it's skewered on. I think that looks good, lighting up that banner. And then the exhibition 6x6 one from the very small museum that was in that capital city set. I think it's 60200 from memory. So that's looking good. Now, this whole real estate could probably take a few more adverts, and maybe I'll do some smaller ones at more eye level with the station in due course. But for now, I'm just going to leave it at that. But that is very good. And since we last did a take, I started doing some of the platform, and I decided to position this middle section where it will be when we're finished. So that is roughly how long it's going to be. Very, very, very long, times 3, one on each side and one in the middle. And it just shows how many black bricks I'm going to need and how short I am of black bricks as well. Because, yeah, I started doing a section and got that far before running out of about 3 different things. So I'm going to have to do a huge order
and to keep the price down, because black bricks are relatively expensive, I thought I'd use some sort of cheaper bricks, like I kind of have here with some random old slopes and stuff as part of the layer. But anyway, yes, a big order is required before I can make much more progress on that, sadly. So yeah, we've kind of stalled there on the track, we've stalled there on the platform, but I think we've got a good system in what we're doing, so that should make it easier when we're going forward. And I've got these stanchions for holding up the monorail in exactly the right place. I've done all the maths, and I've got them at the right height as well, which means they have to sort of be buried into that structure if you see at the bottom there, so they're the right height at the top. Yeah, so you can imagine that track in the distance goes around here, does kind of an S-bend to get to here for the station, and then immediately turns out of it. Well, at that junction piece, it'll also continue on to the standing hole, I think, just like I had before, because I really like that. And that'll be where the third blue monorail, which doesn't have a motor in it, can be kind of waiting. And then we'll have the two of the motors kind of doing one half up to the station one way and one half from the station the other way. So yes, a lot of progress, but yeah, perhaps I just can't complete any one project at once. But what I can do is do the next modular as well. So I'm going to move that one onto there. I'm going to think about some adverts for its big sidewall, which will be visible from the station square kind of place. So yeah, that is what I'm going to do next. All right, they look great side by side. And this one was actually about as much trouble as the museum, despite being about a third of the size. So many tiles. Yeah, this will look even better when that green lip is tidied up with street tiles, which I have to kind of, amalgamate so it looks pretty still. And I've been playing with adverts and murals on the front and back. I already had the Birch Books sign here, but it was much lower down, so I've just moved that up because I figure if we're going to have a great big platform there, you won't have it visible, so that looks good. And I've added a train spotter who's got his phone for pictures and evidence and his binoculars, and he's avidly checking out all of the trains that come into and out of the station to see if he's seen them before. I think that's what they do. I remember once when I was in actual Nottingham station taking a photo of the actual kind of tram flyover just for use on this channel, and a train spotter came up to me thinking I was just like him and kind of wanted to be friends. And I just ran. No, not literally. But anyway, yeah, down here, I thought I'd use this quite hard to use mural piece from a friend's set because it's 16 by 8, so not many walls are going to be big enough for it. And I figure it's kind of the thing that you'd see near a train station, just hiding up an old blank wall where maybe an old building used to be or something like that. So yeah, it's very bright and facing away from the main direction of the viewing angle of the Lego room. I think that will be a good place for it as well. Low down, perhaps with bike racks in front of it or something like that. But I've got space for one more. And these are all the ones at the moment I've got to choose from. I can probably make some brick-built ones as well. And the one that I'm sort of leaning towards is this lovely Stranger Things one. The only downside is that, again, it will be facing away from the viewing angle, but it is the sort of thing you'd see at a train station, isn't it? A big advert for an upcoming series or something like that. And so we've got the yellow-skinned version of 7. What's she called? 11? Yeah, I'm getting confused, aren't I? What is she called? 11, isn't she? It's been a while since I watched Stranger Things. And a Demogorgon. I can remember him. Yeah, so they're just standing in front of the great big sticker that came from that sheet. And I was thinking that could go on. Is that it? No. Try and find the studs. There. So there we go. That is arguably too much adverts for one side. But then again, I do quite like it. So I'm going to try that for a while, but do tell me what you think. If you think that's too much and I should go with one of these sort of smaller 6x6 ones like Biff and Sully's Construction Co. or something like that. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Well, we'll put it in position and maybe put a couple of streets in front, and that might be us for the day, actually, because all of this stuff, though non-exciting in some respects, has taken absolutely ages to do. But yeah, in doing so and finding my train spotter, I did locate my chicken suit guy, that a few people suggested I used at our NFC build that isn't going to stay here, is going to be, well, somewhere else. And we decided that the reloading mechanism would probably be a helicopter called the Chicken Chopper or something like that. And I figure who better for a pilot for the chicken chopper than the chicken suit guy, because that makes it even more silly. And maybe it can be another part of the city sort of on its way to its daily top up with live chickens. So anyway, I'll put that down there with that, and then at least I won't forget. I just need to build a helicopter, but with all the helicopter parts that I get sent in by all of you, then it shouldn't be a real problem, should it? So yeah, cool. Right, I'm going to get this lovely combination in position. I don't think we're going to have space for this one because I think it sort of goes kind of in mid-air at the moment on the third of these tables. But that'll leave space for the station to go in maybe next time. Cool. When I did this wonderful scene of the dog stealing the dinosaur bone from the Natural History Museum, I thought it was awesome. But it was very hard to see in the old city, so I'm really glad that it's in a prominent position now as part of this new street scene. And it's also absolutely fabulous to have buildings in the foreground with loads more right in the distance in the background as well at the same time. Oh, we haven't had that for a while, so yeah, really good progress today. I'm not sure about these adverts in position here. It's not so much the Stranger Things one. I kind of like that one, actually. I think that's about the right scale. It's probably this great big mural. It just looks, I don't know, too big. Maybe it's the Friends colour scheme that I just can't get my head around. But then again, we will have a tree and, I don't know, a bike rack and stuff like that there, so maybe it'll be all right. All of this will be moving one whole base plate down because we haven't got enough space for the actual station building at the moment. But it's good to put them all there since we know where they're going and just to complete a section of the pavement. So we've got all those lovely scenes of the lady feeding the birds and the sweeping up and all the rest of it. The museum is very pretty from the front. Yes, we are getting there, slowly. With this weird bit sticking out for the platform. That's going to be so long. So many travellers will be needed for the city scenes. And yeah, I think the back has got about the right amount of decor, actually. I think maybe a plant, I'm thinking now. Coming up about here and maybe filling up half of this back wall would be absolutely lovely, really breaking it up, and maybe a smaller version in a different colour with different flowers on sort of there. But otherwise, we've got the Birch Book sign, the dinosaur sign, the museum sign, the portal, and the super secret police sign. Yes, so packed and stacked. Just the way we like it. And then the graffiti and all the 3D signs on the back of them all, of course, pushed back into position. So, yeah, we're starting to gain a bit more progress and a bit more of an idea of how this middle section's going to be. I think it's going to be absolutely crazy how long this station is. It's also crazy because I've started doing the maths for how many bricks I need, and golly, the numbers are big. Let's just say that. So, yeah, I think it's going to be, 1 million tiles from Lego directly and 1 million black bricks from Bricklink. So yeah, hopefully it'll all look very impressive when it's done. Cool. So I think that's about all we've got time for today. But yeah, good progress. Looking very smart in the areas we've done. So I'm very happy with it. But as always, do tell me what you think. And if you think there's any way I can improve it. So as always, thank you very much for watching. It is appreciated. Do remember to like, comment and subscribe for more awesome LEGO videos. And if you value this channel, there are many ways in which you can support it. Do check out the links in the description below. Wednesday we'll be doing a brick haul, so if you want to send something to the channel, you can, to the usual PO box address. And then next Monday I think we'll have to do a quick video because me and Mrs. Hood are away. Yeah, Mrs. Hood has demanded a holiday, and what Mrs. Hood wants, Mrs. Hood gets. I see it as a minor interruption to my progress in the city, as I'm sure you do. But anyway, we'll cope. First world problems and all that. But yeah, really happy with the progress today. Everything's looking very smart indeed. And as I thought, we're making some really good progress. Now we've got some of the old builds into the new city. And, oh yeah, I didn't mention the gap we'd left down there for the platform. That's looking very platform friendly indeed. Wonderful. So, until next time, see you. Don't worry, Jaws. There'll be a spot for you